Welcome to Take Two by Exposition Pictures. Today's episode is indeed very special. Both of our guests today have a lot in common. They started acting at a very young age. They have both worked for Dharma Productions, and they both are the lead cast of the upcoming short film Hangout. Our first guest started her career with a teenage drama called Ishaan for Disney Channel India. She's gone on to work for films like Yeh Jawaani Hai Deewani, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, to name a few. Please welcome Anisa Bhatt. Hi, good
Hi,
afternoon. You are probably in Singapore currently.
London.
Oh, you're in London. Oh, great. So
Yeah,
she's all the way from London for our interview. Thank you so much for joining. Meanwhile,
uh,
I would like to introduce our next guest. Our next guest for the episode had gone on to audition for the role of a young Rizwan Khan in My Name is Khan, but he went on to be the on-screen son of Shah Rukh and Kajol in the film. He has also worked in numerous ad commercials with names like Varun Dhawan and many others. So please welcome Arjan Singh Aujla.
Hello. Thank you for the lovely introduction and quite
Hi,
on point.
thank you. Good evening. I think you are in Bombay. Am I
I am
right?
in Bombay. Yes, I am
Yeah.
right in Bombay.
Okay. So three different parts of the world, and we are here. Firstly, how are you guys doing, especially in this lockdown and Corona situation? So, how are you guys doing?
yeah, good. I mean, considering the circumstances, I think we're doing okay. I just feel very blessed to be healthy right now. And yeah, missing being on set. I'm sure Arjun would agree with that.
Yeah,
But
I mean, Bombay is relatively a little more scary because you keep seeing the news and the number of rising counts. But more or less, I am locked in my house. I am doing everything from my house, right from recording self tests with my tripod and my light and everything. Everything is being done in this room, literally. But other than that, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, like the lockdown has already gotten us so much time with ourselves. I've started reading. I learned how to edit my videos on iMovie, make my own little trailers. I've been learning a lot. So I've been getting a lot of time to myself, which I think as actors we already do have a lot. But it's just that now it's more realizing of that. So yeah, I mean it's been fun. It's been a little scary, but it's been fun overall.
Great. In the introduction, also, I was talking about how there's one commonality that you both started off as child actors.
Yeah.
I would like to ask that how different were your thought processes back in those days in terms of the acting, and how do you feel has it evolved in the current scenario?
So for me personally, I find it funny that I got the child actor tag because I wasn't really a child, but I think I just looked young and I was fortunate enough to play a young role. But yeah, I mean, started kind of young and started doing a lot of theater actually. So for me, definitely as a theater actor, there was a lot of focus on teamwork and team dynamic and kind of like, in the theater, you do everything, you move the props, there's a very community kind of feeling with theater. So I do miss that with film. I think it's a little different. I'm sure we'll talk about that later. But it was nice to start early, and actually, I kind of wish I even started earlier than that because I feel like the sooner you start, actually, you have all the more time to develop your skills and keep learning. And these days, like kids are starting so young, and by the time you're a young adult, you're just so talented and advanced in your skill set that I think you automatically have an upper hand.
Right, and Arjun, what about you? How
For
do you?
me, it was completely different. For me, right since I can remember, I've just been mad about movies. But I never did theater. I never did training. It was purely just out of like love. It was all heart. I remember ever since I was a kid, I've auditioned and I've done a lot of ads. So I worked for like Nestle. I did a Milo ad. I did Reliance. I did a quite a few ads when I was like say 9, 10, 11 years old, right? So ever since then, ever since I can remember, I've always just been like wanting to like do like work. Like I've always wanted to be in front of the camera. I was never really shy. As kids, you are. I still have my portfolio from when I was so small, wearing those little shades and like like how it used to be back then. But yeah, I mean it was really fun. But so after doing these ads, I worked in My Name Is Khan, and again for me, I really had zero thought process throughout the film. I did it because I wanted to do it so much. Like I was so happy to not be in school and just be sitting on a set 10 hours a day. I was not complaining. I was not complaining about food or just being made to sit in one spot and like having probably 3 or 4 shots a day. We shot in Bombay as well. So like for me, it was always that it was just the passion to want to do it. So I can't even say that I had a thought process back then as a kid. Now it's a totally different ballgame, which I think we should get to later. But back then as a kid, it was just pure out of love for wanting to act and wanting to see yourself on TV. I'll say that, like, as a kid.
Yeah, right, right, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, coming to Anisa, this comes for you that you initially worked for a television channel, and you also thereafter worked under two big films like Yeh Jawaani Hai Deewani and ZNMD. So, how has been the experience like in terms of the shift from TV to the big screen, and that too under big banners? So, how has the transition been like?
Yeah, I mean, I was super fortunate to have those opportunities to work under big banners, and obviously, it's super exciting. You've grown up watching those films, and then you get to work with those production houses, so it's always amazing. Actually, Ishaan was also Red Chilies at that point had Idiot Box, which was a television department. So I had actually tested for a film initially, and I was supposed to do a film with them with Roshan Abbas as the director, and that unfortunately didn't work out. But as it happened, like literally 2-3 months down the line, Ishaan happened, and I got to work for Disney and Red Chilies. So it worked out that way. But there was actually it was scary, because after doing a show, the benefit of doing a show where there is a contract, you're working for a long period of time, you have that kind of safety that okay, TK, like काम तो है, like for this amount of time, and then suddenly it stops, and you're just like, oh, okay, what is next?
Yeah.
And being an outsider from the industry, there's this sense of you've never quite proved yourself. So you finish one project and you start auditioning for new projects. And when Zindagi happened, I actually tested for Kalki's role. So
Oh,
initially they were like it was quite open to newcomers. And then it changed, and I remember getting a call saying, "Will you come and meet Zoya? She wants to meet you." And I was thinking, "Oh, I wonder what this is about." And then Zoya kind of said that, even though I'm a cameo in the film, there's a lot of amazing actors in this film, and I'm sure you're going to want to be part of it. So she was just like, please do this for me. And I was thinking, now I cannot say no. I'm sitting right in front of her, and honestly, it was really amazing. I mean, Excel Entertainment. There's never enough good things I can say about them. They are really great at what they do. So it was a little scary, that transition, but I think once that step was taken, it was exciting.
great. And Arjan, I would also want your experience. Uh, I would also want to hear your experience basically because I won't lie, I'm very eager to know about your journey with My Name is Khan. So, to see your childhood heroes sharing the same frame as you, so how difficult was it, and how has the experience helped you learn in terms of the acting?
So personally for me, it was that right from day one of shoot, Varun Dhawan and Siddharth Malhotra were ADs back then. So Varun Dhawan used to help me out. He used to come to me always, do you want coffee? Do you want ice cream? Because I was 10, 11 back then, right? So he just had to like take care of me. And meanwhile, Siddharth Malhotra would help me out with my lines. So before every scene, he'd come, he'd take me to a room, we'd rehearse the entire scene. And when it comes to working alongside Shah Rukh Khan and Kajol, as well as being directed by Karan Johar, I think that I think like they couldn't have been sweeter because I remember like each one of them literally took out time from their scene to come talk to me personally and tell me that listen, this is the scene. Don't worry if you're scared, if you're stressed out, just sit with me for 5 minutes, sit with me for 10 minutes. There's no pressure on you. You know, if you don't remember your line, that's completely fine. So what they did was just like they made me feel so comfortable on set. You know that like, I just had nothing to worry about. And I think that's why, like back then, I didn't have much of a thought process in terms of acting because it felt like I'm just doing it, right? And I'm not like conscious in front of anyone, or I'm not like worried that oh someone big is standing next to me because they made me feel so welcome on set and like they just like spoke to me and like they made me feel so comfortable. So that's literally how it was throughout shoot. We shot in Bombay, we shot in SF and in Los Angeles as well. So throughout, like they just like everyone on set is like would always make me feel so comfortable, and yeah, I think that's why it was never really much of an issue. Like I was never scared because I just didn't probably because I was so young I didn't realize it because they just felt like any other person sitting next to me and doing lines with me. So that's how the atmosphere was. It really felt like a really like close knit family, and I think most sets are this way. Like that's why it was so much fun to just do it. And I think being on set, seeing how the entire set used to work, it fueled my passion for cinema even more. Because I had such a good time at such a young age, so my thought process started building up around that.
Great, and you both have worked in feature films, of course, right? As we discussed, and apart from that, you've also featured in short films. So, of course, they themselves are in two different formats where you just have to emote and give it all in just a matter of few minutes in a short film, whereas in the feature film you can flesh out the character a little bit more. So, how challenging and how different do you think it was to work in both the formats?
I think for me, I mean, I really don't think there's that much difference for us as actors in the approach, whether it's a short film or a feature film or a TV show or a Netflix, Amazon, these web series. I feel like our process essentially is still to, bring truth to the character, to flesh out as much as we can about that character and bring it to life and work with our director. And of course, if we're talking about ads and commercials, like I know Arjan's also done a lot, but if there's, when it comes to commercials, there is that pressure of delivering certain emotions under like in a very quick period of time. But I think with short films, you can still have that space. It depends on the writing as well, how it's written, obviously, how much time you have. But I would not say that there's much of a difference for me personally.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, it all comes down to your prep. How much have you prepped? Do you know your lines? Even if it's one line in an ad shoot, do you know how to say it? Do you know what emotion to grasp while saying it? So more or less, it's just about how well you prep for it. And so for me personally, I've shot two short films in this lockdown.
Mhm.
So I took my time to first be completely savvy with the lines, and then I built my character around it. I built my backstory. I built my character's world, right? So it's just how much you prep for it, and I feel how sincere you are to your craft and to your role, because it's not just you. It's like there's a director involved. There's a whole team involved. So you have to give your best, right? It's just for me personally. It's just about how well you're prepped for it. Yeah.
Great. And since we were already talking about short films, you both of you have recently shot for a short film called Hangout. I believe it was shot entirely in the lockdown phase. So, how did the team make it possible? Because it's very difficult to execute an entire film end to end during the lockdown phase. So, please share your experiences.
I mean, so I spoke to Kabir, who's the director, Kabir Khurana, and he told me, ki, there's this project and we're planning to shoot it in the lockdown. And this was right during the beginning of the lockdown, before things started to get eased out, before restrictions were removed, they were uplifted. So back then it was completely strict, right? So then they told me that okay, so it's gonna be say a 3 to 4 man crew, and we're gonna come where we want to shoot in your house. We want to make it look as real and make it feel as real as possible. So my character, since the short film is also set during the lockdown, they wanted to shoot in the house.
Right.
So he told me that there's going to be a crew of three or four, and everyone's going to be really well like prepped. You know, they're going to come in their PPE kits with their mask and shields and gloves. And more than anything, I was like, you know, since times are changing, why not? Why let's just do it like this? You know, maybe this might just be the future of how things are going to be shot. You know, you can't say. And the main reason why I was so on board to do this project was because the story is so nice. It's so relatable and it's so fresh, right? So, and in terms of the shoot, we shot one day at my house. We shot from morning to evening. I think we started at around, they were home at 7:30 and we went on to shoot till 9 p.m. Raat ko. So yeah, and I felt really bad for them, yeah, because like you know, like as you can see, the background, these posters is
Yes.
actually part of the set from the film. But I liked it so much that I decided to keep it. And these guys are all you know docked up in their PPE kits with their gloves and their mask, uski upar face shield, and it's all fogging up because it's so hot, right? And like there's like 4 to 5 people in one room, all cooped up, but I liked how professional it was. Yeah, like no one was complaining, no one was taking off their masks, no one was taking breaks. We were all here with one goal, which is to be safe. I saw them sanitize my room, and I've never seen my room this clean. I'm not joking. And yeah, so like everyone was just here with one goal to be safe and to like do this project with a lot of passion, right? And you could feel that. So I think that was my experience, and I was not worried about any coronavirus or anything for even a second because I saw them and how docked up they were in protective gear. So obviously it was something that's very new and very fresh, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a completely different experience.
Yeah, it's a totally unique experience.
Unique.
Anisa, what about you? How did you face this?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I have to agree. To be honest, when Kabir sent me the script, I really liked it, of course, but I was also just so happy to be able to do something, like I was just thinking, oh my gosh, yeah, please, let's do this. But I was actually really hesitant. I was concerned because of the virus. I was definitely a little apprehensive, and Kabir was kind of like, don't worry. He definitely put all my fears to rest and just said that we're taking it very seriously. We're gonna do all the safety protocols. And when they did a short recce before the shoot, I could see that, the way they came. I did a dress trial at my home. Um, and yeah, so and then again, like Arjun said, like everything was just super clean afterwards. They were so particular, wiping everything down that I was just like, this is amazing. This kind of it's like he said, it becomes a family. Any set, whether it's a 1 day shoot or whether it's a 10 day shoot or a 1 year shoot, whatever it is. I feel like you try and bond as a cast and crew. This came with its challenges though, because obviously none of us met. I mean, in terms of the cast. So all our rehearsals were online, which was a very different process for me. And that's super challenging. So I think kudos to the team because to build that connection and do it virtually is definitely challenging. But I think we were successful.
Great, great.
Another thing I forgot to mention is that the director was not here. The director was sitting on Zoom.
Yeah,
They were coordinating everything through the screens. So that was something that I've seen for the first time. Usually, I was like, okay, chalo, 2, 3 people will come home, but director to hona chahiye na ghar pe to at least like like direct everything. But even the director, the DOP, everyone was scattered in their all different locations, and everyone was coordinating on Zoom. But to see that was pretty fascinating. I was like, okay, this is like really cool that like these guys are so hands on with their technology and their work that they're actually making this work sitting in like their house. That was pretty cool.
and also there were a few scenes in the film which involves a lot of Zoom calls. So how did you coordinate that? Because it was real time shooting of a Zoom call. So how did that take place?
Yeah. Yeah, again, like it was challenging, to do that. But I think everything was pretty much scheduled and regimented in the sense that we had rehearsals. I think about a week prior to the shoot, we started. We did a couple of one-on-ones with Kabir and Prateek, who assisted in direction as well. So we had that time, which I'm really grateful for, because we were able to really kind of find our characters in that space before we went to the set. But in terms of timing coordination over Zoom, like how it lags sometimes and how there's internet connection issues, we definitely had all of that as well.
So precisely why I was asking, because there's always an audio lag and a video lag while shooting on Zoom, so it's a bit of a hassle.
That's
But
not
enough
the
about.
most that's not what was the most irritating bit, like, or the toughest challenge. The toughest challenge was the 40-minute mark. So every 40 minutes we were resetting the Zoom to rehearse. And I remember, okay, when we shot, at least my bit, 3:30 was the scheduled time. Ki at 3:30 everyone has to come on Zoom, and we're gonna record the bits from sitting from everyone's houses. We're gonna do the recording bits. So that's exactly how we did it. Like, I remember the other actors who were on the project, they had to screen record their bit and mail that footage to the director, who was then gonna attach it all together. And like at 3:30 everyone came on, and so yeah, it was something really cool and different.
Yeah, absolutely, I'm
Yeah.
sure. Coming to the characters, enough about the process. So, coming to the characters, what are the lead characters you're playing in the film, and please tell us something more about it.
So I play the character of Alia, and Alia is, I think definitely I could relate to Alia because she is really passionate about, humanity and doing her part and changing the world in her own way, in the little way that we can contribute to change. And, seeing the migrant workers and how they're suffering. I mean, I think what's beautiful about the script is it's so relevant to the current situation, to the pandemic, and it's obviously inspired by that situation. But the fact that, even though the world is going through this situation, we are all trying to connect with each other. And, thanks to technology, we have the ability to do that. But yeah, what I loved about her as a character is just that she's very human and relatable, and that she wants to contribute to change. And I found that something that I can definitely relate to. So Alia is very, at the same time, she's very strong-headed, and I think she definitely knows how she wants to live her life. I see her as being that character, and she's not kind of like a pushover in any way. So yeah.
And how did you prepare the role of Alia, if you may?
So I definitely was just, I mean, I was reading a lot to get more informed about what is happening with migrant workers. Also, I have a few friends who are they're very, very socially active in terms of creating social awareness and really kind of protesting for change in their own ways. And being involved in organizations and petitioning and all of this. So I also spoke to them, and yeah, I just tried to get into the mindset of, I mean, I would consider myself to be a little bit of an activist as well. So I was kind of exploring that part of, how I think that she would think. But other than that, I think it was really organic, just, doing our readings that we did with Kabir and getting that sense of direction, what he wanted to achieve through those characters. And yeah, find their vulnerabilities as well, because she's also, even though she came across as a little strong in some parts of the film, she definitely is very sensitive, and she can be very vulnerable as well. So there's kind of two sides to her.
Okay. What about you, Arjun?
So for me, I play this character called Romy. Okay, and he's a musician who's also in this marketing company, and he doesn't really like his job too much because his passion is music. So, and he's the kind of guy who's not too worried about, say, money or work. He's like a chill, laid back guy, you know. But in being so chill and laid back, he also doesn't care a lot about what's happening around him, because he's so apne mein, he's so self-centered in a way that, he's like worried about himself and his comfort and his discomfort. So he doesn't see what exactly is going on around him in the world in this current situation. But then again, coming back to this character, it was a little tricky for me. So like I said, we have these posters stuck at the back. So most of these bands I listen to anyway. Like when it comes to say Linkin Park or anyone like Coldplay se leke AC/DC, Guns N' Roses. I listen to rock music. I love all of that. So that was relatable for me. What I feel was not relatable was that Romy is a bit too laid back. He's a bit too chill. He's a bit too jovial. He loves to joke around. He's not serious. So he doesn't see when, he's saying something that might hurt someone, or he's just being so like he's joking about a situation you shouldn't be joking about. So that is something that was not me. So that was like a challenge to play. And another thing that's not me is that he plays the piano. Now, I don't play any instrument, right? So that was the biggest challenge, because when I got the clip of how exactly to play the tones, the tunes, I was like lost. I was like, shit, अब ये कैसे करेंगे यार? बाकी तो manage कर लेंगे. It's lines. I can get into the skin, But how do I do this? So I remember 2 nights before the shoot and the last night before the shoot as well. I was up for at least 6 hours through the night, just watching videos on YouTube to understand how the body language is, while you play the piano, when you play a certain instrument, when you play something, when you're feeling the instrument and playing it, how is the body language, just to understand it. So it was a bit of a challenge, definitely, because it's not something I've ever done. I don't play the instrument. And then again, this character is not me. But certain bits are me, that he's a guy who keeps to himself, like in terms of his emotions, and like he doesn't he's chilled out. That is a bit me, but then it was a bit mixed up, so it was a bit tricky, yeah. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Just
Yeah,
getting into it.
in fact, the first thing which came to my mind was, is he actually a musician or not? Because
Yeah,
you pretty much played the part. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had thought about this. Because
yeah,
I really thought that you play the piano. It
yeah,
was amazing how you told us about the learning.
yeah.
Given the unpredictable situation, so I know that things have come to a halt. But what are almost like your immediate future plans in terms of acting, of course?
So for me, I am currently in London. I left around June, and pretty much after we shot, and family are here, and I have an agent and manager here in London. So I'm doing a few things here at the moment. I'm also dubbing actually in a couple of days for like an indie feature film that was shot here, um, which we luckily shot before the whole pandemic hit. So that is coming up, and other than that, I think I've honestly just been working a lot on the craft, just really trying to use this time to work on. Of course, we have time as actors, but I think the kind of commitment that I've been able to give at this point of time, I've never been able to give. Like that daily practice. So that's been really refreshing. And then I have a podcast as well, which keeps me pretty busy. So all of these things are going on. Yeah.
Basically, you are totally utilizing this time to upskill yourself and pursue your different passions as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think, sometimes it's really difficult. At one point in my life, I really thought we had to compartmentalize everything, that if you're an actor, you just have to act and nothing else. But actually, acting is also learning life. All your life experiences contribute to the roles that you play. The relationships you have, the places you go, everything. So I just think actually by living life and doing things and learning new skills, you become a better actor. So I really feel like the two tie in really well.
Great, all the best. And Arjun, what have you planned for the future as of now?
So as of now, I finished shooting another short film a couple of weeks. I think 5 to 6 days back, not a couple of weeks. So
Just to interrupt, has it been the same kind of an experience in terms of
yeah, yeah.
like
Oh yes, oh yes.
and the director at home, same
No,
format?
so because now the lockdown restrictions were eased, and we shot when shoots had begun to get resumed. So we shot at Mud Island, and I remember while shooting there was a TV serial shoot being conducted in the building next to me, right? So But in terms of like the makeup artists, they were top to bottom in their PPE kits and everything, and it's an action-packed film, right? So I had a lot of bruises on my face and everything. So there was like the makeup was constant on me, right? But other than this, I think I've just been working on my craft and I've really been evolving as a person. So I've been reading a lot. I managed to finish one book a week. And I think before this lockdown, I didn't even own a book. My elder brother owned a lot of books, but I didn't, and I didn't read. And so other than that, I feel like I've just been so busy, like I told you, with these self-test auditions that I've been recording. So it's not like work has stopped. Work had stopped for the first 3 to 4 months, but now slowly everything's getting back, and maybe this might just be the new normal. You never know. But for me, for my plans as of now, it's just to focus on myself. I am right now. I have all the time to focus at myself, and I think as an actor and as a person, I'm really growing because I have been working and I have been uh, constantly working, and I've been training and practice. So in these terms, I think it's for me right now is just to grind. It's just a hustle, just to work hard, and like get something or the other because like I told you, like it's just been auditions and self tests back to back. So I don't think I've even thought of it until now, like because I've been so wrapped up between all of this.
Yeah. Great. And now there's one special announcement which I'm going to make because right now the short film which you're a part of, Hangout, we will officially be launching the trailer of the same right now on this call. And we're happy to be associated with the film as well. Exposition Pictures is presenting, and the director Kabir Khurana is one of the founding members of Exposition Pictures. So we are really happy to have you both for this occasion. And with this, let's start having a look at the trailer.
Let's go.
Hey Sameer, what's up?
By the way, तुम्हारी roommate का है?
How did you know?
I'm sorry, I'm also doing my bit.
और बाहर क्या हो रहा है वो तुम्हें नहीं दिखाई देता है ना?
So how was the trailer, guys? Did you like it? Did you like seeing yourself on screen?
I don't particularly like seeing myself on screen, but as a whole, I loved it. I did love it. I think it's I think this film is super special because obviously we shot it in the pandemic as well. We're never gonna forget it. And I'm excited to hear everyone's feedback.
Great.
Yeah.
Then how excited are you?
Even for me, so the thing is even when I record myself or when I'm like acting or when I'm working for someone, I never see my takes because I just can't, so even when I saw the trailer, I just I didn't know how to respond looking at myself. I didn't know what to think of it, but overall it looks amazing. I'm really happy the way it's all come about, and I hope people really really like it as much as we love it because like Anisa said, this has literally been a pandemic productions. So it's a labor of love of our hard work that we have literally risked our life. I can say that. We have literally risked our life to bring this across. So yeah, that way it's really exciting. And what else do you want but to work hard and get something good out of it. So hopefully, let's see where it goes from here.
Great. Thank you so much, Anisa and Arjan, for joining me for this chat.
Thank you.
Really looking forward to your upcoming short film Hangout. All the very best, and if you may, please let our audiences know when the film is coming, where it is coming, and how we can watch it.
Okay, so the film Hangout is coming on the 15th of September. It's going to be on Hamara Movies YouTube channel. So that's Hamara Movies YouTube channel on the 15th of September. Please watch it, like it, share it, subscribe to Exposition Pictures. Show us some love, show us some hate if that's what you feel, but just be honest. And yeah, I'm excited. I hope you guys like it.
Yeah. Please watch the film. I think it's such a special project. Everyone's worked really hard, and I mean, I think Arjun has said everything. We hope you love it, and we can't wait for the world to be able to see it.
Great. All the best, guys. Thank you so much again for joining. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Stay safe.